Hello students. So today I will discuss our first chapter, that is electric charges and fields. Electric charges and fields. Okay. Now this chapter comes under your electrostatics. So let me discuss some of the basics about electrostatics. Okay. Now you know this electrostatics again comes under electromagnetism. Okay. Electromagnetism. So in the first book of class 12, all the chapters, okay, comes under this electromagnetism. This electromagnetism again, it has, two parts. One is electrostatics. Another is electrodynamics. Okay. So you need to write all these things. I will provide PDF notes. Okay, just try to understand. In fact, these are basics. You need to write all these things. So here electromagnetism has two parts. One is electrostatics, another is electrodynamics. Now electrostatic means what? Charges at rest. So it into two chapters. One is your that is electric charges and field. Electric charges and fields. So here I will discuss about what is electric charge, what are the basic properties of charge, what is electric field, applications of electric field, okay, all these things. And second one is electric potential. And capacitance. Okay. So in electrostatics we deals with electric charges and field, and secondly electric potential and capacitance. So here I will discuss about what is electric potentials, the applications of potentials, what is the capacitance, what is the use of capacitance in in electronics, okay, or electrical circuits, like that. And then electrodynamics means what? Here dynamics, okay, that is motion. So here charges in motion. Now you know when charge moves, it produces what? Electricity. So here we study about current electricity, okay, current electricity. And secondly, we know whenever there is a current, okay, when current flows through a conductor, it produces what? It produces a magnetic field. So here we learn about magnetism. So here again it has two chapters. You will get in your first book. One is what? Magnetism and matter. One is magnetism and matter. And second is moving charges and magnetism. Moving charges. Okay. And then again we have electromagnetic induction, EMI, and last one is AC. Okay. So we have these 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 chapters which comes under your electromagnetism. One is electrostatics, means here charges at rest. So we'll discuss all the topics related your charges at rest. And second one is electrodynamics, means charges in motions. So here we discuss the topics which were charges in motions. Okay. So they are the main two parts of your electromagnetism. Is it clear? Okay. Now come to the first chapter, electric charges and fields. Now first of all, let me discuss about what is electric charge, because the main topic of the chapter is electric charge. Now what is electric charge? Any idea? What is electric charge? Now you know what is charge? Electric charge is a fundamental quantity, fundamental quantity, intrinsic. You can say it is an intrinsic property of matter, okay? Intrinsic property of matter. Intrinsic means what? Fundamental, okay? Fundamental. Now if we let me discuss electric charge in more details. Let me give an example. Atom. What is atom? Atom means what? It is the smallest particle of what? Matter. Now again, atom consists of what? Again, three other particles. One is, proton. One, electron. And another is what? Neutron. Okay. Now it is found that if we bring two protons close together, they experience a what? Electric force. Electric force. Okay, all of you know. If we bring two electrons close to each other, they also experience electric force. If we bring one proton and one electron, then also experience electric force. But if we bring two neutrons, or one neutron, one proton, or one neutron, one electron, then it experiences no force. Okay. So what we have seen, if we bring two proton, two electron, proton and electron, they experience electric force. But if we bring neutron towards neutron or towards proton and electron, they experience no force. That means you can say that there is an additional property. There is an additional property of proton and electron which give rise to an electric force between them. Okay, that property is called what? Electric charge, which is absent in what? Neutron. That's why neutron experience no force. Is it clear? So what is electric charge? So what is electric charge? You can say it is the additional property of protons and electrons. Protons and electrons which give rise to an electric force. An electric force between them. Between them is called electric charge. Is called electric charge. Is it okay? So this is the additional property. What is additional property? Because this property is absent in neutron. It is found only in proton and electron. That's why it is called additional property. Okay? And due to this property, proton and electron experience electric force. Is it clear? So this is electric charge. Okay. Now since it is a physical quantity, so it has also a unit. Let me discuss about the unit of electric charge. Okay. Unit of electric charge. Okay, its SI unit is Coulomb. So Coulomb is the SI unit of electric charge. Second one, the electrostatic unit. Okay, electrostatic unit is ESU. ESU means what? Electrostatic unit of charge. Okay, so here you have to remember 1 coulomb is equal to 3 into 10 to the power 9 ESU. So these conversions, okay, just remember it. In solving numericals, you may have to use this one, okay. If it is given in ESU, you have to convert it into Coulomb. Coulomb is the SI unit. And then the electromagnetic, okay, electromagnetic unit is EMU. EMU means what? Electromagnetic unit. So here you have to remember your 1 Coulomb is equal to 1 by 10 EMU. Okay. So these two you have just remember it. It will be helpful in doing numericals. If it is given in terms of ESU, you have to convert into Coulomb. If it is given in terms of EMU, you have to convert into what? Coulomb, because Coulomb is the SI unit. So they are the basically the unit of electric charge. Okay. Okay, now let me discuss about the properties of electric charge. Okay. Properties of electric charge. Properties of electric charge. Okay, first of all, you know, so what are the types of charges? You know, there are two types of charges. There are two types of charges. Tell me, one is what? One is positive. Another is what? Negative. Okay. Negative. So there are two types of electric charges. One is positive charge, one is negative charge. Secondly, charge is always additive. Okay. Charge is always additive in nature. Additive in nature. Charge is always additive in nature. Additive in nature means what? So, suppose you consider this is the board. Here there is 2 Coulomb charge. Here suppose 3 Coulomb charge. Here suppose 5 Coulomb charge. Here suppose 6 Coulomb charge. So if you want to find the total charge on the board, you have to add all these things. You have to add algebraically. Okay. Here you need to find the directions. You need to find the positions. Okay. Does it depend on positions and directions wherever it is placed. If you want to find the total charge, you have to add all. Okay. So for example, if this board has suppose charge Q1, Q2, Q3, suppose it contains n charges. Okay. Q1, Q2, up to Qn. If you want to find the total charge, what is the total charge? It is the sum of all the individual charges. Okay. Q1 plus Q2 plus Q3 up to Qn. So this is called additivity or additive nature of electric charge. Okay. Then you can say third property, charge is conserved. Charge is conserved. Okay. Now what is the meaning of conserve? Conserve means what? Charge neither been created nor be destroyed. Okay, you can say that charges neither been created nor be destroyed. Okay, it is a fundamental quantity. It is the intrinsic property. You cannot create charge. You cannot destroy charge. So you can say that the total charge of an isolated system always remains constant. Okay, always remains constant. So this property I will discuss while discussing the ways to charge a body. I will discuss how the total charge of a system always remain constant. Okay, you cannot create charge, you cannot destroy charge. Okay, charge only can be transferred, from one body to another body. Okay, now when you transfer a charge from one body to another body, how the charges of two bodies changes. Okay, total remains same. That I will discuss in the part ways, what the ways of charging a body. Okay, I will discuss these things. So now what is the conservation means? Conservation means what? The charge neither will created nor be destroyed. That means you can say the total charge always remain constant. Okay, so this is the charge is conserved. Now move to the fourth property. Fourth one is quantization of charge. Quantization of charge. So this is one of the important property of electric charge, quantization of charge. Now can you tell me the meaning of quantization? What is quantization? Quantize means what? That exist amounts available or anything available in fixed amount. Okay, quantization means what? Anything which available in fixed amount. Fixed amount means what? Say for example, just take example of this marker. Okay, now here you see 1 marker, 2 marker, 3 marker, 4 marker, 1 marker, 2, 3, 4. These are the possible values. If you want to buy a marker from a bookshop, then you have to buy 1 marker or 2 marker or 3 marker or 4 marker. You cannot buy 1.5 marker, which is not possible. Okay, or 1/4 marker. This is not possible because this pen exists in what? In integral multiples. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4 like that. In the same way, charge also, the total charge of a body always what? Integral multiple a fundamental quantity. Now what is the fundamental quantity, you can say? We know that charge of a proton, you know, what is the charge of a proton? Charge of a proton is represented by E. E is the charge of one proton. That is value is what? 1.6 10 to the minus 19 coulomb. And charge of electron is what? It is minus E, or you can say it is 1.6 10 to the power minus 19 coulomb. Here you see it is plus, it is minus, because you know charge of electron is what? Negative. Now this is the fundamental quantity. Okay, now you can say that the total charge or all the charges of a body, you can say that all the charges of a body is always an integral multiple of, okay, integral multiple of a basic quantity. Okay, basic quantity, that is plus minus E. Now if the body has excess of proton, it will be plus E. Excess of electron, it is what? Minus E. So you can say that total charge of a body, say Q, you can write it plus minus Ne. Plus minus Ne. So total charge of a body is always what? You can say it is plus minus what? Ne. What is N here? What is N? Is an integer. Integer means what? It may be 1, 2, 3, 4 like that. And E means what? You know the value of E is what? This one. So it means what? Suppose a body, say for example, a body has one excess proton. So charge will be what? 1e. Say 2 excess proton, charge will be what? 2ic. 3 excess proton, charge will be what? 3, like that. Similar way, a body has suppose 1 excess electron, its charge will be what? Minus 1e. Say 2 excess electron, charge will be minus 2ic. 3 excess electron, it will be minus 3, like that. So total charge of a body is always what? Integral multiple of a basic unit, that is plus minus n. So this is the meaning of what? Quantization of charges. That means you can say that charges always be integral multiple of what? E. That means it cannot be fraction. Okay, it cannot be fraction. Means what? Half electron, 1/4 of electron, or half proton, 1/4 of proton. That is not possible. So it is always a integral multiple. So this is the basic meaning of what? Quantization of charge. Is it okay? Now move to the next property. The next property is the most common property. All of you know that. That is like charges attract and unlike charges like charges repel and unlike charges attract. Okay, so for example, proton, electron, so they repel, and proton and electron, they attract. So like charges repel, unlike charges attract. Okay, then move to next property. Charge is a scalar quantity. Okay, charge is a scalar quantity. Because you know, charge has no directions. So charge is scalar quantity. Okay. Then you know, charge is invariant. Charge is invariant. Now what do you mean by invariant? Invariant means what? It does not depend on coordinates. It does not depends on your x, y, z. You know the coordinates. That means position. It doesn't depend on position. Whether it placed along x-axis or y-axis or z-axis, the value of the magnitude of charge will not change. Okay, it remains same. It is invariant. And the last property is charge always comes in terms of mass. Now charge always comes in terms of mass. It means what? Whenever you charge a body, either positive or negative, okay, there is transfer of charge along with transfer of mass. Okay, if a body is positively charged or negatively charged, that means if we change the charge of a body, mass of the body also changes. Okay, so transfer of charge means transfer of mass. So that you can say charge always comes in terms of mass, or you can say your transfer of charge means transfer of mass. That means if you change the charge of a body, or if you charge a body, then the mass of the body also changes along with charge. Okay, so I will discuss in details later on all these properties. So I have discussed 8 properties of electric charges. That is, first of all, there are 2 types of charges, positive and negative. Charge is additive in nature, conservation of charge, quantization of charge, charge is scalar quantity, charge is invariant, and charge comes in terms of what? Mass. So these are some of the basic property of what? Electric charges. Now let me discuss about what are the possible ways to charge a body. Okay, so this is important. Ways to charge a body. The first one is by conduction. by conduction. So by conduction we can charge a body. Now what do you mean by conduction? Conduction means what? By direct contact. By direct contact. So now, for example, this is a body. This is a charged body. For example, this is a charged body. Say it has 2 coulomb charges, and this is uncharged. This is uncharged. Here charge is what? 0. So we represent charge by the letter Q. Okay. Now if we contact the uncharged body with the charged body, then what happens? The charge is uncharged, the transfer of charges takes place from this body to that body. Now, if these two bodies have same shape, so if they have same shape, same size, and same material, okay, same material, then there will be equal amount of transfer of charge takes place. Equal amount means what? Now this body has charge 1 coulomb, this also charge of 1 coulomb. Now if they are not in equal size or shape or material, in that case you have to find out what? That charge, transfer of charge takes place because of what? Potential difference. Because the transfer of charge takes place till their potential becomes equal. So that part we will learn in next chapters, potential part. So here we discuss about only the bodies which are having same size, same shape and same material. In that case, equal amount of transfer of charge takes place. So here before connecting 2 coulomb charge, and here it is 0. After connecting them, now it has 1 coulomb, it has 1 coulomb. So here now both the bodies are charged 1 coulomb and 1 coulomb. So initially it has chargeless, now it has charge of 1 coulomb. So this takes place by direct contact. Okay, so this is called charges by conduction. We charge a body by what? Direct contact with an uncharged body with an charged body. So this is charges by conduction. Okay. Second process is by induction. Okay. Second process is by induction. By induction. So we have seen that in case of conduction we charge a body by direct contacting with an charge an uncharged body by directing contact with a charged body. Now here it is just opposite process. That means here we charge a uncharged body without direct contact with a charged body. So here without direct contact. Contact with charged body. Okay. Charged body. So let me show you how can we charge. Suppose this is a charged body. Okay, this is suppose positively charged, say for example. Or suppose this is uncharged. In fact, let us take uncharged body. This is uncharged. Okay, charge is 0 here. Now if we bring this body towards a charged body, say this body is positively charged, just you. Now first of all you see uncharged means what? It does not mean that it has no charges at all. It has charges but equal number of protons and equal number of electrons. Here it has equal number of protons and electrons. Protons and electrons. Okay. That's why total charge is what? 0. Now if we bring this uncharged body towards a charged body, then what happens? There will be transfer of charges takes place. Polarization of charge takes place. These terms I will discuss in next chapter. That means what? This positive charge what? It will attract its negative and repels its positive because it has equal number of protons and electrons, positive and negative charges. So here due to attraction at this phase you will get what? Negative charge, and here you get what? Positive charge. Because of repulsion positive charge will reside at the rear face and negative charge at the front face. In the second step, what we do? In the second step, keeping this positive charge body in the same place, you just connect this body to the earth. This is called grounding or earthing. Okay. Now what happens? This negative charge are attracted by positive, so it will not allow this charge to go. This positive charge will go to the earth because now they are free. They can move to earth. So now if we remove this one, you will find that it has what? Only negative charge. So now this body, before you see it charge is 0, now it is a negatively charged body. So here you see this body is negatively charged without contacting with this charged body. So this process is called what? Induction. So here we can charge a body without contacting with a charged body. Okay, we can charge an uncharged body without direct contact with a charged body. So this is called charging by induction. Okay, so we have seen that how can we charge a body by direct contact, that is conduction, and without direct contact, that is what? Induction. Third is by friction. By friction. So here what we do, friction. Okay, you just rub two bodies. It is found that when glass rod is rubbed with silk. Okay, then what happens? If glass rod is rubbed with silk, it is found that there is transfer of electron from silk to the from glass rod to the silk. When you rub glass rod with silk, there is a transfer of electron from glass rod to the silk. Why? Because if you rub, there is a friction, and because of friction, that is called thermal. There is temperature, the heat develops. So the outermost electrons of silk and glass rod, okay, the outermost electron of glass rod that transfer from rod to silk because of thermal, okay, because of temperatures, okay, they gain energy, so move to this. Now this movement depends on the electropositivity and electronegativity of the two substances. Now if electron transfer from glass rod to silk rod, so glass rod becomes what? Less of electrons, so it becomes positive charge, okay, and it becomes negative charge. So here the glass rod is positive and silk rod is negative. So transfer of electron takes place from glass to electron, so it gains electrons. That's why it is negative charge, and it loss electron, that's why it becomes what? Positive charge. So here charging it takes place because of what? Transfer of electron. Why? Because of frictions. Now I have already told you that charging a body, the mass of the body also affected. So how? Because this silk gains electron. So mass of electron is what? The mass of electron is what? That is 9.1 10 to minus 31 kg. So if a body gains electron, means its mass also increases. If a body loses electron, its mass also changes. So charging a body, that is transfer of electron, that changes the mass of the body also. Okay. Similarly, it is found that in ebonite rod is rubbed with fur. Okay, rubbed with fur. Then what happens? Electron transfer from fur to ebonite rod. Okay, electron transfer from fur to the ebonite rod, and that's why the ebonite rod becomes what? Negatively charged, and the fur becomes what? Positively charged. Okay, so in this way two bodies can be charged. Okay, by transfer of electron due to frictional electricity or due to frictions. So here for loose electron, so it becomes positive charge, so its mass slightly decreases, and here it gains electrons, so it's negatively charged, its mass slightly increases. Okay, so this is the way by which we can charge a body. So this is all about today's class. So today I have discussed about the electromagnetism. Okay, the electromagnetism has two parts. One is electrostatics, one is electrodynamics. The electrostatic means charges at rest, and electrodynamic means what? Charges in motion. Then I have discussed about charge, electric charge. What is that? The additional property of electrons and protons that give rise to an electric force between them. That is called electric charge. Then I have discussed about some properties of electric charge. That is additivity property, quantization property, conservation property, its scalar quantity, then the unit of charges. And then I have discussed about the ways by which we can charge a body. This is conduction, direct contact, induction, without direct contact, and that is by friction. Okay, so these are some of the basic topics of this chapter. You go through these topics. I will provide the PDF notes. Okay, and also I provide some solved questions. Okay, and some questions for yourself. Okay, you try these questions. If there is any doubt, you can ask me through WhatsApp. Okay, thank you.